Hi, I'm Dr. Ebony Stone, and this is the Black Woman in the Corner Office. Hello, 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 and welcome to the Black Woman in the Corner Office podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Ebony Stone, and today's guest, listen, you guys, I'm so excited. When we get into this, you'll understand why I'm so excited about today's guest. I just met her just a little while ago, and it feels like I've known her forever. So I'll introduce her in a moment, but you know the drill, right? We're here. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share it with a friend. Let someone know what we're doing over here in the Black Woman in the Corner Office podcast. Okay? All right. So let me tell you who we have today. We have a power-packed episode for you because today I am joined, and I'm going to read her bio because I don't want to miss anything, right? We are joined today by Valencia Dantzler. She is affectionately known as the Gratitude Grandmaster, a powerful voice for those ready to breathe again, reclaim their energy, and transform burnout into bold, ease-filled living. She's the visionary behind the Ease Over Exhaustion Community and Academy, where high-achieving women and mission-driven entrepreneurs learn to trade hustle for harmony. Listen, trading hustle for harmony, baby, you can't beat it, right? And they find clarity in the chaos. An elite neuro-encoding specialist, Valencia uses science-based strategies to help people rewire limiting beliefs, regulate their nervous systems, and embody sovereignty from the inside out. Now living in Kigali, Rwanda, she's also an international speaker, a strategist who has been a featured presenter at tourism and wellness conferences in Kenya and across East Africa, specializing in helping African destinations attract and welcome the Black diaspora. Through her signature programs, transformational challenges, and soulful retreats, Valencia empowers others to earn more with ease, heal in community, and choose freedom over fatigue. She blends neuroscience, sacred self-care, and straight talk strategy with deep joy and always, always a whole lot of gratitude. Welcome, Valencia.
Hey, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Listen, I am so excited about this episode. It is unreal. Valencia and I talked a couple weeks ago, and I was like, why do I feel like I've just known you forever? It just felt, it was just a connection there. So I am excited. I do want to tell everyone we will do our best to edit, but considering we are 6, 7 hours apart, different parts of the world, you might hear a delay, but that's okay. It's gonna be worth it. Okay. So Valencia, let me start here. You're from the United States. Tell
That's
us
right.
about where you're from and how your professional journey started.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Before we get all the way into it, because I know this is going to be a great discussion today. First, I want to really thank you, heartfelt thank you for having me on today. I've really been looking forward to this. And I absolutely love the work that you are doing. Your book, somebody had told me about your book. So I was like, oh my God, when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, this is the woman that wrote this incredible book. So I love everything that you're doing. I want everyone to stop what they're doing and subscribe, like, give you a 5-star rating right now on your podcast, because this is how we get the news out. This is how we get the word out of the great work that you are doing. So thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome,
So
girl. You're welcome.
tell
So
us
how
where
did it
you're
start?
from.
It
How did things
started for
start?
me. Yes, it started for me. Well, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Grew up in a country town, Apex, North Carolina, on a dirt road, right? And just came from humble beginnings, of course, right? But for
Okay.
me, all of this really started about 8 years ago. I found myself, in a situation where I felt really, really down. And I had been that way for a long time, going through a lot of stuff, lost my mom at the age of 70. I mean, at the age of 7, sorry, at the age of
Yeah.
7. And just a lot of stuff had happened to me. And I kept rehearsing those things in my head, doing everything I could to get rid of that blues. And it would never go away. And
Okay.
I really came up with the fact that I was ready to say goodbye, but goodbye to the
Mm,
world, right? And I had made the decision. I'm a calendar girl. I put it in my calendar, and everything was set. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I gave myself a week out, and little beknownst to me, I didn't even understand the laws of the universe back then. But what you really want is looking for you and wants you to. And so I came across a random video. That's why I say people need to share this podcast out to people, because you never know who you're gonna reach. But the lady said, "Why don't you just start thinking about what you're grateful for every day?" And I was like, that's not gonna work. I'm thinking about all my problems before I get up in the morning real good. But
right.
considering what I had decided to do, I said, you know what, maybe I should write it down. And I hadn't kept a journal since I was 7. So I started writing down what I was grateful for every day, about 3 things. By the end of the week, the next day was my date. I said, I think I feel a little bit better. I'm going to just delay it a little bit, another week. Did it again the next week, not making any promises or anything like that. Long story short, I felt better each week. By the end of the 4 weeks, I wanted to live, and nobody could tell me otherwise. Didn't understand why this was working. I was raised in the church, always been in the church, hooping and hollering, everything. But you're trying to tell me this one little thing worked? Well, that caused me to go on to find out scientifically why is this working. And so then I became an elite neuro-encoding specialist, and all that means is I help people, and I was my first client, reprogram themselves so they can live the life that they really, really want to live. And
Yeah.
so
So,
that's what I'm doing today.
so let's back up a minute. First of all, let me just say, I'm not sure who the woman was, but thank God you came across her video, right? Thank God you are here with us to help us. When you started journaling and you are just finding things that you are grateful for, what did you notice? You said you noticed a change by the first week, but did you notice like instantly, like that first day where you like, oh, this feels different?
Yeah, it was different because it wasn't anything I was used to, but it wasn't immediately the first day. It felt weird because
Mm,
actually what I was doing was unknowingly I was interrupting the pattern, which is something that you have to do in order for change. But I didn't know any of this, right? But it felt weird. I felt like I'm doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. This is weird. And I was going to stop, but I had kept a promise to myself. And I say, no, just do it. And it was hard to think about what I was grateful for. But I'd write something small down, like I could see the sun coming through the window and it's pretty, you know, and I'd write that down. The rules were for me, nobody's going to see this anyway until after I'm gone, because I didn't think it was going to work anyway.
mm,
So I
mm.
was interrupting the pattern, didn't even know it back then.
Yeah, yeah. I want to explore just a little bit. So, what we didn't talk about, what you don't know, is that I call myself like a double preacher's kid, mom and dad. So, like born and raised in the church, I get it, right?
Mhm.
And you mentioned that you still went to a very dark place. I want to talk a little bit about that because I think, and you can tell me your opinion, I think that people expect things from the church that they should really be expecting from God. I think the church sometimes becomes ceremonial, and what we really need is that relationship with God.
Right,
So,
exactly.
can you tell me a little bit about how that impacted or affected the before and after the journal, if you will?
Right. So yeah, well, like I said, I grew up in the church, right?
Mhm.
So and we tend to expect things from our church, from people around you. But what I believe is that really you gotta I believe that God lives inside of me. Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so he's given me, whether I think it or not, he's given me all the tools, everything that I need already. So it is your relationship with God and relationship with self, because I believe God is inside of me.
Mhm.
We have to save ourselves. I think for too long we have been trying to substantiate and wait on someone or something or some people to save us. Well, really, or even a government to save us. Okay. But really, we need to save ourselves because God, the creator, is within us. Right.
Absolutely.
So,
Um, there is a podcast called I think it's called, oh, if I'm quoting it wrong, I'm sorry. I will correct it in the notes. It's called Nobody's Gonna Save Us Anyway, or something to that effect, right? And the whole premise is we have to save ourselves. And I'm
exactly.
with you. I believe that God resides in me. I believe that God talks to me. I believe that God leads me, and that when I need saving, God does it. Now, He brings other people in my path to do so, just like He brought the young lady in the video to you. I found myself in a bad place, and where I just didn't know what what to do next. Like I felt like I was breaking, and he sent a Christian spirit filled therapist my way that absolutely had a huge impact in my life. You know, my family. He works through other people, but yes, he resides in you. So talk to me a little bit about neuro-encoding. What
Yes.
exactly is that? What does the education look like, or the training for that? How did you end up down that path?
Yeah. So again, what you're looking for is looking for you, right? What you really want in life is that's the way that the universe or God works, right? So neuroencoding is basically all it means is we are programming ourselves constantly, whether it's
Mhm.
towards what we want or towards what we don't want. Okay. So neuroencoding is just when you're using neuroscience, certain things like interrupting a pattern, right? Replacing something inside of it, which is what I actually
Yes.
was doing with gratitude practice. I interrupted the pattern. It felt weird, but I was putting something positive in. Well, looking at life through a different lens. What am I grateful for? Okay. So all we're doing is we're reprogramming yourself, rewiring your brain so that you'll go in the direction in which you really want to go instead of what you don't, right? And it's
Okay.
all based on science. And Dr. Joseph McClendon III, who was a renowned psychotherapist, and he's been all over the world. He still goes all over the world speaking to people. I happened upon him. He was actually introduced to me by an old business partner initially.
Okay.
And then I started understanding that he had this neuro encoding institute. And so I
Hmm.
got involved in that. And I went through the first program, I went through the advanced program. And of course, I was my first student, client myself, right? But I started understanding and putting the parallels between what I did, what, 5 years ago, probably at that time, with the gratitude. And I was like, no wonder I'm here. No wonder I'm still here. This is actual science that I was putting into practice and not even knowing it. So, I mean, it was just wonderful when I made the parallel between the two. I was like, wow.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about the science on a level that we can understand. How does it work?
Okay. So, okay. For instance, if you want to change something, our mind, you can say our mind can go in loops. It's
Okay.
We have familiar things that we do all of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say your life is not going in the direction in which you want it to go. And you feel like, well, I don't have the willpower. I don't have this. No, 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 no. It's not that. Your mind is used to going in loops. It's used to doing the same thing. It's almost like driving the same way from home to work every single day. You don't change it. You know this is the path that you go. So the first thing you want to do is you have to interrupt the pattern.
Yes.
Change it. Okay? Go a different way. So for me, the gratitude, actually getting up in the morning, sitting up in bed, feeling really stupid with a journal and a pen, like I'm gonna write down what I'm grateful for. you
Yes.
know,
Yes. And
but
I
and
love that you
actually doing
said
it. Just
that, that you felt odd doing it, right? So pattern interrupts aren't going to feel comfortable.
exactly. They don't feel comfortable because it's something different. It's like going that different way to work. Wait, I know I should be going this other way, but I'm going to change it up, right? It feels weird. It doesn't feel like it's right. Maybe this is probably going to take me longer. And you're saying all these things to yourself, but it's okay. It's just the mind. It's the mind trying to keep you where you've always been because that's what the mind's job does. It's trying to keep you, quote unquote, safe. Even if you're suffering, even if things aren't going your way, you're not going in the direction you want to go, it is going to convince you that you need to stay exactly where you are and keep doing it, everything the way you've been doing it. But it's you, it's that connection, that God connection that says, no, 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 no. I know this is not the way that I should do this. I know that I need to change. I know that there's better in me. See, that's your God connection. So which one
Yes.
are you going to listen to? Your monkey brain or your God connection? It takes courage
I'm,
to do that God connection and to tune into
yes.
that.
I'm going to listen to my God connection every time. Excuse me.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. So speaking of pattern interrupts, I want to get off into this. One of the things that intrigued me about our conversation, and we'll talk about the work that you're doing a little later. But one of the things that intrigued me about our conversation was something that happened almost exactly a year ago in
Yeah.
2024. And I am speaking about the presidential election in the United States. For many of us as Black women, the outcome of the election was extremely hard. And I believe, you tell me your thoughts, that the outcome of the election was representative of what we have lived our entire lives. We work hard, we work as hard as we possibly can. We are often more qualified than our counterparts. We are often more educated than our counterparts. We often have accumulated more accolades than our counterparts. We've done all the things. And when it comes down to it, the world doesn't see it as enough. What happened in November of 2024? What happened a year ago to you what happened in your brain?
Well, what happened for me was, I was excited about I was excited about Kamala. I would see all of the people at her rallies, and I was invigorated by it. But in the
Yes.
back of my head, I said, "This is the United States. You know what our history has been. What if something goes wrong and she's not actually elected?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of state are you going to be in, Val?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what is life going to be like for you? Knowing you've been here, you're parents, grandparents, back-breaking work. Is all that going to go backwards?
Mm.
So in my mind, I started thinking, well, what would I do? Right? I know
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. I felt like Kamala was going to win. Everything was looking good. We're definitely not going backwards. But
I
at
did
that
too.
time,
Val, you could not have convinced me that the outcome that we are living today was going to be the outcome. I was just like, yeah, this. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
it's a
Like,
no-brainer. It's a
no brainer.
no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. Like, we know, look, I know I'm intelligent. I know you're intelligent. There's a lot of intelligent people out here, and
Yes.
there's no way they're gonna, there's no way. They've got to see the light, right?
Right.
Well, guess what? We all know what happened. The
Yes.
night of the election, I remember sitting there in front of my television, and now I'm 57 years young. I know I don't look it, but I've been through many of the elections.
Yes.
Right? I was ready to sit it out all night because there's been plenty of times where you wake up in the morning, you hardly even know who the president is, right? Because everything
Yes.
is coming in. And well, within 30 minutes of the polls closing, we knew who the president was, and it wasn't Kamala.
Yes.
I said, wait a minute, wait. I started listening to that inner voice. Okay, we had this discussion, and what you gonna do? I was like, well, I know I'm not sticking around here. I'm not going to be subjugated to a narcissist and gaslighting all the time. And not only that, just to see everything go backwards, right? I
Yes.
felt like it was going to take time for things to go backwards, right? I didn't think it was going to happen as quickly and methodically. But apparently, and we can see that there was a plan. There
A
was a
whole
plan,
plan, a master
a
plan.
whole plan.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, they got their plan. What's my plan gonna be?
Right.
Because this is my life that I've got to live, and I am not going to be subjugated to this. So I said, I'm going to go to where I'm honored and not tolerated, right? And I said, I want to be where my people are. Never had thought this before. Never had thought about this. I said, I'm going to Africa. I just don't know where. So that night I started scrolling on YouTube. Okay, God, where am I going to go? Africa. I'm hearing you. Africa. And I started scrolling. Long story short, I found Rwanda, and I'm here now, and I absolutely love it here. Okay? It's beautiful.
Yes. So in my mind, so first of all, the night of that election, I as well, right? I there have been times I didn't even watch the election, but I remember the two times that I watched and I did not sleep. The first was the first time President Barack Obama ran. I stayed up all night watching the election results come in. The second time was last year. I was just on edge watching the results come in, and then for the a couple days after, I was just I was not in a good place. I was in tears, and some folks around me kept saying, "What? But why are you so upset?" As falling in the bucket of what has been termed high achieving women, I think it hurt worse than anyone else, right? That it was our life playing out
Yeah,
for the world to see.
yeah.
Um, so I was there with you. And I went down a path of I have notes scribbled of all of these places all over the world that I can live, but I'm still here. Tell me what made you actually go, and what was it about Rwanda?
Well, I remember during my research, I found this quiz, and I actually offer this quiz too. But it talks about what are the things that are important to me, like healthcare, clean living, weather, these types of things are very, very important to me. I took a test, took a little quiz, and it said Rwanda. And I was like, Rwanda? What in the world? What? So that made me start researching more and more and more and actually just seeing it. Because when I saw the infrastructure, when I saw the beautiful buildings, when I saw how clean everything was, clean, I was like, my goodness, it's cleaner than it is in Charlotte, North Carolina. The infrastructure, the people. I fell in. I was like, oh my God, I could not believe my eyes because no one had told me this. But then who would? Who would tell me this, right?
Nope.
Who would tell me this? Right?
Yeah.
We have to investigate these things ourselves because that's us again leaving it up to someone else to take care of us. Who would tell us about this? Right?
Clearly
Why would
nobody.
they? Right. Why would they tell us?
Right.
I kept hearing America is the greatest country in the world in the back of my head. America is the greatest country in the world. And what that does is it makes it so that you never want to look anywhere else. It's almost like an abusive husband telling you, I'm the best husband you ever have. Nobody else is going to want you. I want you. I want you. Da, 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 and while he's beating you in the head. But it makes you feel like I can't look anywhere else. So once you break free of that and you open up your eyes and you start seeing and investigating, I wanted to run through my device while I was looking at Rwanda on TV, on my phone. I wanted to run there. That's when I knew, okay, I gotta do this. Now it was hard because in my mind, okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say two really quick things. One, you are absolutely correct. We have been taught that America is the greatest country in the world, and it might be for some people. But here's the thing: how do you know anything is the greatest if you haven't explored other things? That's the first thing. And the second thing is it just goes back to that pattern interrupt that you were talking about. You have to interrupt your own thinking, like you have to question some of your own thoughts. And the more you do that, I think the more the more God opens up to you, right? And then so you were going to talk about Rwanda, which I'm very interested in because for the most part, in my mind, Rwanda was a war-torn place. And I remember the first time I talked to you, and I'm looking at the mountains behind you. I was like, oh my goodness, this is absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, Rwanda has a long history, right? I mean, 31 years ago, it was not like this. It was, genocide going on, right?
Yes.
And, but to see where it's come from that to there's really no crime. There's no crime here. I could be out at night, 10 o'clock at night, walking around feeling safe. I was on my balcony last night and I saw two ladies nicely dressed, right? Just walking, going somewhere. But no, not a care in the world. It's pitch black dark. Not a care in the world. But it is that way here. And sometimes when I go someplace, it's in my subconscious to kind of have my head on a swivel a little bit, right? But then I have to say, Val, you in Rwanda now, girl. You're not in America. You in Rwanda. And I was like, oh, okay, calm down. Everything's cool, right? So, it's really a wonderful place here. I could talk about it, forever. But I wanted to be also in a place where the people had resilience, because they definitely have resilience. Because when you can come from, and that genocide thing was all about being oppressed by people other than themselves. That's where that came from. And that force told you not to like this person or not to like your neighbor over here, and to actually do away with them, unalive them, right? And that is what happened. But for them to bounce back and come back, have absolutely no crime, have a beautiful, clean place, everything is dignified here. All the children and the young people, everybody's respectful, okay? There's no ruckus going on. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing to see it and to
Yes.
be a part of it.
And I can only imagine. I remember when we were talking and you were showing me the mountains and you said, girl, my purse way over there on the other side of the restaurant somewhere. And I was like, your purse? You left your purse? Right? Because I'm here in a space where my head has to stay on the swivel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Talk a little bit about what that has done inside, because I can only imagine that it's calmed your nervous system in a way that
Yes.
many of us can't even understand.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why I'm here, because I knew I needed to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I needed to heal. And I wanted to be at a place where there was what I call leadership. To me, in America right now, US, there's no leader. There's no leadership. Okay. But I needed to leadership, and I needed leadership that looked like me. Okay.
Yes.
And excellence, a spirit of excellence. And it is here.
Yes.
Um, and I'm telling y'all, it's in the whole fabric. It's not a facade. Yes, I was in
Yeah.
that restaurant and I had on my purse with my passport, my money, my everything was way over there. And I said, you know what? I'm in Rwanda. Everything is cool. Everything is fine. You know what I'm saying? But I did go get my purse. But I wasn't. I wasn't like. I wasn't worried. There's
Right.
security everywhere here. When you go to the grocery store, there's security. Okay. So and it's not a security like we're gonna do something, we're gonna beat you over the head, we're gonna do something to you. It's just protection. It's just a not even that you need to be protected, but it's just there for protection. It's like having a little nice little jacket on and it's cold outside. You just kind of be snug with it, right? That's what
Yes.
it's like over here.
Yes. It is a different way of being. And I think whether you choose to live in the United States or in Rwanda or someplace in Europe or Asia or wherever an individual is that may be watching this and maybe has made the choice, it has to bring peace to you. It has to
Yes,
be a safe space for you. And um, psychological safety is extremely important. And I think we often think about our physical safety, which is definitely important, but you have to have psychological safety as well. I love what you said. You said, I want to be in a place where I am celebrated, not just tolerated, right? A place where you're just
yes,
tolerated is not a place of safety. It's not a place of safety. It is not a place where you can bring your best self. You have to be able to bring your best self. In order to do so, you got to feel safe, like you can let it out. So, being in Rwanda, you have continued your work. So, I know you work with people internationally. I just want to make it clear, just because Val is over in Rwanda does not mean that she can't work with you. Just like we're having this conversation today, she is working with people all over the world. So, Val, tell us a little bit about the work you're doing, what's coming next for you, all of those types of things.
yes. So, Rwanda is just a wonderful, beautiful place. And like I said, they do have a past up there, right? So I do help people go from exhaustion, overwhelm to ease. And I'm finding that the people of Rwanda are very receptive to me as well. Now, I have clients all over the world, but I'm establishing new clients here as well, which I'm very, very excited about because believe it or not, they need healing here too because of what has gone on in their past.
Mhm.
And a lot of customs here, um, they maybe feel like they're not able to communicate that, maybe especially like the young people, to their parents, because there's a sense of respect there, which there should be, but maybe they don't feel like they have open communication, and that comes out in other ways, like it could be drinking and that type of thing, right? So I'm able to help with that. All right. So I'm excited about that. I have my Ease Over Exhaustion community, which originally was really for the diaspora, right? And especially for those in the United States that mentally they want to get over that, all the toxic things that are going on in the United States, whether they choose to stay in the United States or not. But they could also have an avenue to know how, if they wanted to relocate anywhere in the world, they could do that. So that is what the community is about. But now I'm finding that Rwandans, they need that ease over exhaustion too, because of what's happened to them in the past. So it's opened up to them. And then I have in-person events here in Rwanda, which I'm very, very, excited about. So the Ease Over Exhaustion community is open to everyone. So it is, you want to get out of that frustration in life, that you feel like you're stagnant, you're burned out, you're tired. I give you practical ways to go from exhaustion to a life of ease. And that means even if you want to physically relocate, you'll have that avenue as well.
Yes, and it's this last year I have met so many people who have just said I'm leaving. I'm leaving. And one in particular, so Val, I didn't know you before you left the States, right? But I knew someone else before she left. And I remember talking to her, and I even saw a different person on the screen. I was like, wow, you could just see the joy. And so I don't think you need, maybe you do. I don't know. I'm going to explore it. I got a son who is a senior in high school, and baby, when he is done, I get to explore as much as I want to. But I don't know if you have to leave the United States necessarily to feel the joy. I see so many people that do. But I think the message that I want people to take away more than anything is of your story is you recognized what you needed and you went and got it, even if that meant leaving the country where you were born and raised and spent, what'd you say, 56 years, because you've been there a
Yeah.
year. So I think that is so incredibly important to ask yourself, what do I need, and figure out how to get it. Now, you told me that even up until the moment that you were getting on the plane, you questioned, like, dang, should I actually get on this plane?
Right.
So I think that was a pattern interrupt. That had to be interesting. Tell me just a little bit before we get into a few other things, what that was like when you're standing at the airport knowing you are leaving friends, family, everything behind to go get what you need.
Right. Well, I want to say that, there's the statistic out there of Black women, Black American women, between the months of April and June of 2025, 300,000 women have left the United States. But you know what
Mm,
else that means? That means millions want to.
yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So, and I'm telling you, there's a thin line between those who actually do and those who just think about it. And I don't want to say just think about it, because it's a battle in your mind, and I went through it too, and I know neuroscience. Okay.
Right.
Your mind wants to keep you right where you are, and it will convince you of that. It will
Yeah.
convince you to stay right where you are, even if you're suffering. All right.
And do you
And if
know
you go ahead.
that statistic, that number? Do you know that exact same number came up in a study I was reading or article I was reading? 300,000 Black women have also lost their jobs in the same time period. Just
Mm,
crazy.
wow. Isn't that
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
So
I think
go ahead, tell us about
going on the
family and
days. Huh? Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said, go ahead, tell us about what it was like, you know,
Oh yeah,
family, all of that.
it
Just
was hard.
headed to Rwanda.
It was hard because there's a struggle. It's a struggle there because I'm knowing what in me. I'm saying, I hear God saying, "It's time for you to fly. Let's fly." And I mean, fly like above all the problems. Like, I got you. I've got so much greater for you. And that's what I'm hearing. Okay.
Yes.
But then I'm struggling because my friends, I'm mad because I've got to up and leave. I feel like I got to up and leave. So I'm going through really all of the phases of grief, right? And
Yes.
I'm mad because my mama was here, my daddy, my grandparents fought, my daddy was in the Vietnam War.
Yes.
Then I started thinking about Trayvon Martin. I tried everybody, George Floyd, everybody. What is it that we have to do to prove that we are human, that we have the right? Why are we still proving this, trying to prove this? And why are we still having a fight? We've been fighting. How long we got to fight? We got to keep fighting?
Yes. And then the question becomes,
I need to live.
right. Because the question becomes, what am I really fighting for? What am I in this fight for? Right? I know what I need. And at what point do I decide whether you value me or not? I value myself. And
Exactly.
my God is bigger than these 50 states. And my God is bigger than this one state that I'm sitting in. My God is bigger than this company that I'm sitting in. My God is bigger than this educational institution that I'm sitting in, right? My God is bigger than whatever this thing is that I'm trying to prove, right? I remember when I was going through one healing journey, because I believe that we go on several healing journeys throughout life. But the most recent one, the one that I wrote the book about, as I was going through that, I remember thinking to myself, I don't have to prove myself. I have to prove myself to myself, and I've already done that. And so if you don't respect it, if you don't appreciate it, you don't have to. But the thing is, you won't if I don't make you. So I'm gonna go appreciate myself in the way that I need to, you know.
Exactly.
So
and then I want to say this. For me, I had to realize, wait a minute, let me look down. I got feet. Do you have feet? I got feet. I'm not a tree. Wait a minute,
right.
I'm not a tree. I don't have to stay here. I can move. What? The whole world is mine.
Absolutely.
So I had to realize that. So when you're not, when you're out of that burnout, when you start healing and when you start putting good things, gratitude in and things like that, you're healing yourself, even where you are, and you start to think clearly and things open up for you. And so that is why it's so important not to put that type of thing off. You really got to take care of yourself and think clearly. And now, okay, what is it that I want? Because God said I'm living. He told me to live my life and live it abundantly, right?
Yes.
And that's what I need to do. I'm not going to be stuck here fighting. That's a trap. They know we like to fight. They know that. They know that, we can fight now. We can hold our own. We can tell you some stuff. But is that a trap? Is it a trap? Because remember, we all collectively said, we didn't have a meeting on this. We said, we're not going to do any demonstration because we know what demonstrations do. We know they kill us first and all that kind of stuff, right? So we're collectively going to sit back and we're going to watch. We said this. We got the download. because we're
Yes.
starting to understand that the fight is the trap.
Yes. And you know what? I really believe this in this moment that the cycle has been broken, right? When it's time, because time is going to come. Time is going to come where there is a realization that those 300,000 that lost their jobs were really the foundation, and you need them. And so when the time comes and the 300,000 are asked to come back, I, my answer is no. And I hope
No.
others' answers are no. Not in spaces that don't appreciate who I am for who I am. Now, I've been in spaces that appreciated me for who I was, but I've also been in spaces that did not. And so those spaces, ain't no way I'm going back. I don't have to fight anymore. Um, but what we have to understand is we get to define what success looks like. And success does not have to be in holding some title for some large organization that didn't really wasn't really built for you to be there. But it can be. It just depends. Success, define success on your own terms. Do not allow someone else to define success for you.
That's right.
So I know. Listen, we can talk all day. There is one thing that I'm gonna tell everybody. Me and Val have already talked about this. I'm gonna make my way to Rwanda and one of those amazing retreats is coming. I done already told my husband about it. Like we gonna figure this out, and I'm coming to get me a piece of that piece, right? I want some of that.
Yes,
So
girl, I got you.
yes, we will be there. And I said, listen, and she said we could stay for 2 weeks. He was like, okay.
Yeah, two
So we
weeks for
coming.
a self-care retreat. Mhm.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about that. And then I got just a couple more questions for you before we get out of here. Tell us about the retreat.
So the self-care retreat, yes, self-care retreat is really the retreat that I had for myself when I first got down here unknowingly, right? So I was up in the mountains. Well, Rwanda has 1,000 hills. It's a land of 1,000 hills, and it's beautiful. Okay, it's
It is.
beautiful, but you still have everything like your internet and your electric. You have everything. So don't think that just because it's Africa, it's remote and you can live in a hut. No, 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 no. So I have access to a resort up in the mountains. It's fresh air. Air is fresh anyway, right? But it's fresh air. When you walk outside, you just see it's a breathtaking view. Like I see what I call Christmas trees, but then it looks like another Christmas tree is shooting out from it. And it's
Mm,
just beautiful. They're all over the place. And the mountains, the views, and oh, it's just so nice and beautiful. So the soul care retreat consists of accommodations, 2 weeks. Okay, you have your own private. I call it a cottage, but it looks like a nice resort apartment with a pool outside. Okay. Fresh food, all the food is organic. Everything here is organic, no chemicals in it. And then we have excursions and things like that you can go on. No extra fee or anything like that. We pick you up at the airport, we take you back. No extra fees for any of that. And it's just wonderful. It's just a place for you to relax. You still have your
yes.
TV, you got your dish TV, all that kind of stuff. If you want to be on your computer, you can, because if you're like me, I work anywhere that I am, and I love it. Okay, but yeah, you'll have all the accoutrements that you have at home, but you'll have a wonderful view, fresh air, fresh food, and great people around you.
Mm,
So that's the soul country.
that sounds like freedom, and I'm coming to care for my soul, right? So two
Yes.
more questions. The first question is tell everyone where they can find you. They want to follow the work that you're doing. Where can our viewers find you?
Well, I think LinkedIn is like I'm very active on LinkedIn. Okay,
Yes,
so
you are.
just look up my My name, Valencia Dantzler. Shoot me a DM. If you shoot me a DM and you say ease, then I'll send you something special just for your listeners. Dr. Stone.
You guys hear that? Follow Val on LinkedIn. We'll make sure her LinkedIn profile is in the show notes and DM her the word ease and you get something real special. I want to know what that is. So as soon as we're done here, I'm going to get on LinkedIn and I'm going to hit ease. I want something special too. So
Oh
remember that.
yeah, it's my Ease Over Exhaustion Discovery Bundle. So
Mhm.
everyone will love that.
Thank you so much for giving that to our listeners. Okay, so but well, I said two questions. I lied. There were three. So here's question number two. Is there anything that you want to tell our listeners and viewers before we get out of here that maybe I didn't ask you?
Hmm. I just want them to know that no matter what situation you're in right now, I've been there where I felt like I wasn't going to make it, right? But I'm here. So there's another side of this. So no matter what situation you're in, what frustrations you're having in your life, you can make it. Okay, reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out and get help. Okay, that's
Yes,
crucial.
you can make it. You can make it. And so, last question that I like to ask everybody. Let's roll the tape back. We're looking at your entire life and we're deciding, we want to make a movie of Val's life. What will we call that movie? What do you think the title of the movie of your life would be? And if you have an actress that would play you, who would it be?
Ooh. Um. Why am I thinking Whoopi Goldberg?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg, and it's the name of the movie is Fly High. Okay, Fly High. That's
My
the name.
God. I love it. Whoopi
Fly
Goldberg is
High.
an amazing actress.
I
Amazing
know.
actress. So if you're listening, Miss Goldberg, when the movie Fly High comes out about the life and times of Valencia Dantzler, she wants you to play her. So consider that.
Yes, I'll be honored.
Absolutely. So you guys, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. If you don't take anything away from this, please take away that you deserve peace. You deserve happiness. You deserve that soul care that Val was talking about. So make sure that you find a way to get that peace. Go to a place where you're celebrated and not just tolerated, whatever that means for you. Not what it means for the world, not what it means for your sister friend, not what it means for your mother, your sister, your niece, what it means for you. Find what it means for you and go after it. Val, I thank you so much for being here. This conversation was absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to get to Rwanda and actually meet you in person. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, girl. Thank you so much too.
Absolutely. And so, you guys, you know what to do. Until next time, keep sprinkling that black girl magic on everything you do. And we'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye bye.